Once she reached the last checkpoint, she says one custom agent didn't believe her and forced her to produce nude photos, before and after photos of her cosmetic surgery. This police report states that several staff members were aware that a student at the school may have been sexually abused. An emotional day for the family. The father came out to the mobile home for the first time today and saw all the teddy bears that community members have left. The arsonist got in through the garage through this side door, then walked over to the front of the house, banged on the door a couple times, and then fled. By the time the family came out, the garage was fully engulfed. The video shows one of the kids walking back to the bench and taking the dog off the leash. What the thieves didn't know is that a surveillance camera caught the whole thing. People walked out of the community center, walked over to the Trayvon Memorial site right behind me, and started singing right away. Several demonstrators marched outside of the courthouse today, many holding signs like this one that say "Justice for Jordan." All the results that they had received pointed to one person, Stephen McDaniel.
Did he look like a guy who really just found out she had died?
Howdy.
Had you heard it? Had you seen anything there?
Well, Michelle, just how is Glendon County getting ready for all this?
Shannon, right now the concern is ice on the roads. That's why the first phase of the preparation was to close Glynn County schools tomorrow. I'm going to show you how far I can actually walk into this flooded area. The good news today, no injuries were reported from these storms that came through earlier. But as you can see behind me, 2 barns collapsed out here on County Road 305. We've heard thunder in the area. We've seen lightning, and the rain is just getting started. You can see the sky is pretty dark behind me.
First Coast News' Michelle Quesada has been investigating. She joins us now live. Michelle?
This is the stack of incident reports involving the deputy. The last accident happened just 4 months ago when 2 women lost their lives in a crash, but the deputy became a part of the accident when he hit one of the vehicles with a mother and her child inside.
911, do you have an emergency?
There's a accident. There's a police car, and glass, and 2 vehicles are in the ditch, and one of them's a police officer.
On the night of December 21st, 2013, 23-year-old Shanice Johnson and her toddler were involved in not one, but 2 accidents.
One car is smashed. Come on.
She looked at her mama picture, and she said, "Mommy, I'm fine, Mommy, I'm fine," and walked out. And that brought tears to my eyes. I don't know how fast everybody was going, but it was an impact.
Ronnie Hooks, Johnson's stepfather, says 2-year-old Samaya Johnson doesn't really understand what happened to her mom. She just knows she's gone. Florida Highway Patrol says Johnson crossed the center line on Russell Road, causing a collision with 37-year-old Stacy Paternal, who also died. The accident was quickly followed by a second crash, this one caused by Clay County Sheriff's Deputy Bryant Wiggins.
I can't see how the impact of the second one, he had to have been flying to have that car smashed.
Deputy Wiggins was transporting an arrestee to the jail when he hit Johnson's car. A sheriff's office investigation says Wiggins was going 66 miles per hour in a 55-mile-per-hour zone. Wiggins was found at fault after an internal investigation. He was suspended for 3 days without pay, but did not receive a traffic ticket. It's hardly Wiggins' first work-related crash. A First Coast News investigation found that since he was hired in 2009, he's been involved in 12 police vehicle incidents. Not all were crashes, but he had been found at fault by his own department for careless driving 4 times prior to the December crash. That revelation shocked the family, including Johnson's oldest sister, Tamara, whom she had planned to visit in New Jersey 2 days after the accident.
You know, he should not have been on the road, no.
According to incident reports, the 24-year-old deputy has caused over $6,000 in damage to patrol vehicles. The incidents range from losing control and driving into a ditch to driving over a median to hitting a mailbox to avoid hitting a deer and rear-ending a car in motion. He has yet to receive a single traffic citation from his own agency for any of the incidents, and he remains on the road. According to the Duval County Medical Examiner's Office, Johnson died from injuries sustained in the first crash, but her toddler was still in the car for both crashes. We spoke to Shanice's mother, Lillian Johnson, after the accident, but she was too emotional to go on camera again.
It was like unbelievable waiting for somebody to come home, and they didn't never come.
The sheriff's office says it cannot comment on Deputy Wiggins' driving history or the December 2013 accident because it is expecting a lawsuit. We also tried to reach out to speak with Deputy Wiggins, but he told First Coast News he had no comment. The sheriff's report says on the night of the accident, Wiggins reported it was dark and foggy on County Road 209. He said he observed the red Dodge in the ditch and did not see the silver Hyundai in his path when he struck it. Florida Highway Patrol is still investigating the accident and will determine if any charges will be filed. Live in the Information Center, Michelle Quesada, First Coast News, NBC 12, ABC 25. Shannon, unless you're a law enforcement official, when you think about carrying your gun, you conceal it and you carry your concealed weapons permit. That's not the case here at the Jacksonville Beach Fishing Pier, where you might run into gun owners openly carrying their firearms. Over 80 degrees at Jacksonville Beach. And it's the second Saturday of the month, which means more heat on the pier. Packed heat.
Most people go, I didn't know you could do that.
Chuck Burlinghoff is talking about carrying his firearm openly, a right guaranteed by Florida law as long as you are on your way to go fishing, hunting, or camping.
Well, we like catching fish too, so this is a place we can do it.
Burlinghoff and Jeff Gray are members of Florida Carry, a group that wants to preserve and expand gun rights. Once a month, members gather across the state to exercise this little-known right. Critics, including Off the Record, some law enforcement officers, say the demonstration can make citizens feel uneasy, particularly if someone is openly carrying a gun on a bus or riding a motorcycle down the highway. The law says that's perfectly legal as long as you are on your way to fish, hunt, or camp. Gray says he exercises the law to educate others, but he doesn't always have positive encounters with law enforcement.
Some counties I go to, they're not knowledgeable of the law, and they wind up detaining me, drawing guns on me, and searching me and seizing my property and stuff.
As seen in this video Gray recorded of a Putnam County Sheriff's officer telling Gray he could not openly display his weapon and holding him for questioning.
So I'm being detained because I'm carrying a firearm?
Yes, sir. Right now you're being detained.
Gray was later released and no charges were filed. While some law enforcement officials say he baits officers, Gray calls it a Second Amendment test.
Where, the cops come up and they ask, what are you doing? I'm fishing, and oh, okay, cool, that's your right, have a good day. So, I didn't bait them into knowing the law and protecting my rights, and so I didn't bait the officers that didn't know the law into violating my rights.
The group says they don't get a lot of attention, just reactions from the curious.
They have come up and said, what are you afraid of, or what's the gun for? And jokingly I tell them with the gun, I'm not afraid of anything. They say their goal is to exercise their rights and preserve them. I like my guns. I've been around guns my whole life. They're nothing more than a machine, and I truly fear that we could lose that right. Be aware that if you are carrying your gun fishing, hunting, or camping and are participating in open carry, your gun has to be in plain view. If you have your shirt over it or it's hidden in any way, you better have your concealed weapons permit, because if not, you're committing a felony. Now, we want you to join the conversation. Tell us what you think about the Florida law. Go to our First Coast News Facebook page. Reporting live from Jacksonville Beach, Michelle Quesada, First Coast News, NBC 12, ABC 25. The school's dress code policy says that skirts and dresses have to be at the knee or longer. The 15-year-old skirt was 3 to 4 inches above the knee. Her mother understands it was a clear dress code violation, but what she doesn't understand is why her daughter had to wear a bright red and neon yellow suit with the words dress code violation written across.
First impressions, they're really important, and I had a really bad one.
When 15-year-old Miranda Larkin went to school in this black skirt, she says she didn't know she was in violation of Oak Leaf High School's dress code.
She just points at me from across the hall. She goes, your skirt is too short.
She says a teacher sent her to the school nurse, who told her she had to put on this outfit, a neon yellow t-shirt and bright red sweatpants. Written on both were the words dress code violation. Larkin just moved to Clay County from Seattle and was on her 3rd day at a new school.
She put on the outfit in the bathroom and looked at herself in the mirror and just broke down. She started sobbing. She broke out in hives.
A spokesperson from the Clay County School District says students who violate the dress code are given the option to stay in their clothes and go to in-school suspension, wear the sweats and t-shirt as punishment and go to class, or arrange for someone to bring them other clothes. Larkin says she was only given one option.
I feel that by putting a kid in an outfit that says what they did wrong, across their chest and down their leg is taking their private records and making them public, and it's a clear violation of their privacy rights.
Larkin was able to leave school early and not face suspension, but her mother says the outfit she calls a shame suit violated her daughter's rights. She says she's filing a complaint with FERPA, the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, for making her daughter's discipline public. The Clay County School District says the intent of the outfit is to get students back to class as quickly as possible. The school district attorney says this is not a FERPA violation because it is not disclosing a student record or discipline record to the public. The attorney went on to say that other school districts, such as the Alachua County District, have similar dress code punishments. In the newsroom, I'm Michelle Quesada, First Coast News, NBC 12, ABC 25. Heather, you can only get this view from our rooftop here at First Coast News. Here's a front row seat to the brightness of those scoreboards. And today we dug a little deeper, or drove a little farther, I should say, to find out just how far we could go and still see those screens. If you've driven by Everbank Field after sundown in the last few weeks, there's no way you can miss the world's largest scoreboards when they're lit up. In fact, you don't even have to be by the stadium. Driving up the ramp to the Hart Bridge, not safe, but you can still see the scoreboard. So standing on MLK into downtown, maybe a mile away from Everbank Field, and you can see the scoreboard clear as day. There are the bright lights 2 miles away from the Matthews Bridge. And 12 miles from Everbank Field on the Dames Point Bridge, you can still see brightness escaping from downtown.
Affects the migration patterns of the sea turtles here in Jacksonville.
It's too bright, huh?
Yeah, they see all the lights and, you know, they don't know where to come lay their eggs.
Maybe not, but if you drive anywhere near downtown, you see them.
Yeah, I actually saw them today when we were going over 95. Could see them from 95. It was actually kind of cool.
So how far can we go? My photographer and I drove out to the beach stand. Matt, I think I could actually see it from here.
No, it's just a cell phone.
Well, maybe not from Georgia, but we wanted to find out more about how bright the HD LED screens are, so we went to the experts. Hi there, how are you?
Great, how are you?
Good. I'm looking for a home video system. Probably about 55,000 square feet of video.
It's not anything that big here.
No, huh? All right, good selections, but no world's largest scoreboard, so I got another idea. Hey there.
Hey, how are you?
Do you all have a TV that's like 60 feet and by 362, maybe something like that?
It'd be a lot cooler if we did, but we do have ice cold mirror.
What else can I get here that I won't be able to get at Everbank?
Me.
That's great, but no scoreboard. I can see it clear now. You won't see them anywhere else in the world, but you can see them from pretty much anywhere downtown. And July 26th is the big day. That's when the scoreboards will be unveiled. All the renovations here at Everbank Field are costing just about $63 million. Reporting live from downtown, I'm Michelle Quesada, First Coast News, NBC 12, ABC 25. This Jacksonville woman says that she was trying to catch a connecting flight from Miami to Jacksonville. She says she went through several checkpoints and was cleared after presenting her medical documents. But once she reached the last checkpoint, she says one custom agent didn't believe her and forced her to produce nude photos, before and after photos of her cosmetic surgery. Corrine Teamer wants to conceal her physical identity. Like many other women, she chose a doctor in the Dominican Republic to perform her cosmetic surgery. She says she saved thousands of dollars by doing her tummy tuck and liposuction procedure in the Caribbean. She was happy with her results, but says her trip ended with embarrassment at Miami International Airport.
I called the customer service number, told them I wanted to file a complaint because I felt I was sexually assaulted.
These blurred photos are nude pictures of Teamer post-surgery. She took them so she could see her results. One photo even showing her genital area. These are very private photos. She says she was forced to show a U.S. Customs and Border Protection agent who continued questioning her even after she presented her medical documents.
He said, "You have before and after pictures?" And I was like, "Yes." And he said, "Let me see them." I pulled out the phone, I opened up, and I was showing him my before and after pictures. And then he was like, "Okay, thanks." And you know, I never know what's going on with these type things, so I have to double check everything.
She says she was held up for so long at that checkpoint that she missed her connecting flight to Jacksonville International Airport.
I was in wheelchair, so I really couldn't even walk. And I was sitting here like, why did I even have to show him my pictures? I couldn't understand that.
Teamer says she traveled with another relative who had the same procedures, same medical documents, and cleared every checkpoint with no problems. After filing a complaint, Teamer caught another flight to Jacksonville. And now U.S. Customs say they are looking into the allegations. Now, first cosmetic surgeries in the U.S. were up 12% in 2013, and with prices nearly being half or more off in the Caribbean, more women are going to do this. So if you have any questionable or uncomfortable incidents at checkpoints, you should report those to U.S. Customs.